let's talk about this, Olivia. All right, you just mentioned it. Can be a little intimate. All right, the show might be a little too sexy for some of y'all out there. All right, Christians, you can leave again. It might be too sexy. I don't know. You tell me, Olivia. What is the because when I've gone, uh, I've gone with someone I was dating, and I've seen a lot of partners go to the show, and really enjoy the show. So I'm kind of curious, like the that element of the show, and how people have, if you don't know anything about the show and you go to it, is that going to be something that like, how do people, I feel like people respond well to it. I don't feel like it's done tastefully, and there's not like, it's not, anything too crazy, but it is like, it's effective, it's part of the show and the story it tells. Like, so I'm just kind of curious about sort of that side of the show, the intimate side, the erotic side. Like, how does that interface with like the storytelling and all that kind of stuff?
Good question. I mean, I don't ever try to say that we should be doing anything that's like sexy, I guess, or like trying to go there. I think in some moments, if it's necessary because we're telling this story of somebody maybe overindulging and it kind of feels that sexy and she's doing dance that looks that way, then it can appear that way. But that's never really like something like we're ever really trying to do. How people read it, I mean, that's however they read it, I guess. Am I answering your question? Sorry.
Yeah, I guess it's
Or-
more about authentic expression than it is about like some kind of, trying to be salacious or titillating or whatever.
Yes, yes. I feel like everything that we do is there's a purpose behind it. Like there's a inner story that's behind it, and we're not doing it just because, oh, I need to fill this part in the show. I mean, the producer part of me is always kind of, yes, making sure, okay, do I have enough surreal elements in this? Does it read like what we are? Like, is it going to be like what House of Red Velvet is? Like, of course that's like important too, but the creative director performer side of me is like, no, it's what's inside here and this is what's coming out, and it has to come from an authentic place, so we're never really like trying to be that. But of course, yeah, we get a lot of people, a lot of couples come to our show, and but I've gotten so many different reactions. I've had people who've definitely have been kind of like, wow, that was so erotic and interesting, and like, wow, and my girlfriend and I went home and we had a great time, or
I mean, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. Nobody I took to the show, I can't say much. Take me to the show. Take your partner to
Right.
the show.
So do you reach a specific demographic? Do you find like do you find there's more of a certain age group or sex that attends your show?
Um, Actually, it's kind of half and half, men and women. I would say maybe a little bit more women, actually. But I think that's because it's all the main characters, all our main performers were all women, so it's kind of like maybe our stories. That's why. But pretty close to half and half. And then age-wise, yeah, 30 plus. 30 plus, yeah. I don't 20-year-olds are a little maybe too young to understand. But yeah, definitely people in their 30s, 40s, 50s even. Like it's for like a maybe more older crowd. I would say a sophisticated crowd, people who really love art, people who some people who work in the industry or work in the art industry, or even just people who kind of love art in general, but definitely a more like, yeah, sophisticated crowd, older.
Yeah, I mean, when I've attended, I mean, we got goths. Come on now. The goths be at the show.
Oh, well, always.
Gotta have the goths.
They love the music.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I'll be honest, like when I've taken a date to the show, normally they're not in that world at all, and pretty unanimously, it's a very don't know, people react in different ways, but it's also very like liberating. That's kind of a word that I've heard a lot about. Sometimes, yeah, like I said, like an exorcism. You go through it's what I enjoy most. What I enjoy most about it is it's an experience. I really feel like it's a unique experience, and I have been to all kinds of different shows and of all different types, and I feel like this is very singularly a unique experience. So, and that's why I support it so much. I feel like people should see this because it's something unique, and I feel like it comes from your mind, and it's cool. So,
Thank you. One of the most beautiful things somebody told me was this woman said she finally feels like she can live her life authentically after seeing the show. That was like a really beautiful thing to hear. And it touched us really, because I mean, if we can make people feel like, I mean, like you said, I mean, you say like exorcism, but that makes sense to me, like, because we want people to find what's inside them, whatever it is, like deep in there, and find that and be okay with that, and the dark and the light, that's why we always kind of like bring that together. If you don't understand the darkness, or if you don't go into the darkness right, you'll never really understand light or really feel light. It's part of the human experience.
Well, because not everything done in the dark is bad.
Hmm. Absolutely.
I don't know about that.